Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Artificial Fluency. I want to start today with a simple question. Have you ever bought an English textbook, downloaded a language app, or signed up for classes, feeling excited and motivated, but then, after a few weeks, found yourself making excuses not to study? Maybe you told yourself, I don't have time today, or I'll start again tomorrow, or this book is too difficult. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. But here's the thing. The problem probably wasn't the book, the app, or the teacher. The missing piece was something much more fundamental: your internal motivation. Today, we're going to discover how to find and strengthen your personal why for learning English. We'll explore the difference between motivation that fades quickly and motivation that lasts for years. Most importantly, you'll learn a simple daily practice that will keep your English learning fire burning bright, even on difficult days. So, let's begin this journey to discovering your inner drive for English fluency. Teaching note. Internal motivation means motivation that comes from inside you, from your own desires and goals, rather than from external pressure. Your why refers to your personal reason for doing something. Today's motivational lesson covers 4 essential areas that will transform your English learning journey. First, we'll understand why motivation matters more than materials. Discovering that your inner drive is more important than any textbook or app. Second, we'll explore external versus internal motivation, learning why some motivation disappears quickly while other motivation lasts for years. Third, we'll develop your personal why, finding the specific, emotional reason that will fuel your English learning journey. And fourth, we'll practice the daily motivation ritual, a simple 5-minute routine that strengthens your motivation every single day. Each section includes practical exercises and real-life examples you can apply immediately to energize your English learning. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Let's begin by understanding why motivation, not grammar books or fancy apps, is the key to English learning success. Many English learners focus on finding the perfect materials: the best textbook, the most popular app, the highest rated online course. They think, once I find the right method, I'll finally become fluent. But here's the truth. Motivation is the missing piece for many learners. People often blame their struggles on external factors. This book is boring, this app doesn't work, this teacher isn't good enough, when the real issue is a lack of internal drive. Teaching note. The missing piece refers to something essential that's absent or lacking. Like a puzzle with a missing piece, your English learning isn't complete without strong motivation. What motivation really is? Motivation is the energy that pushes you forward. Think of it like fuel for a car. Without fuel, even the best car can't move. Without motivation, even the best learning materials won't help you progress. When you have strong motivation, Learning feels exciting. You look forward to practice sessions. Difficulties feel like challenges to overcome. You find time for English even when busy. Mistakes don't discourage you. When motivation is weak, learning feels heavy. You make excuses to avoid practice. Small problems feel overwhelming. You can't find time for English. Mistakes feel discouraging. Teaching note: to push you forward means to give you energy and drive to continue moving toward your goal. To feel heavy means something feels difficult, burdensome, or tiring. Motivation vocabulary: the missing piece for many learners, the energy that pushes you forward. Learning feels exciting versus learning feels heavy. Look forward to, anticipate with pleasure. Overcome challenges, successfully deal with difficulties. Why external solutions don't work. Many people try to solve motivation problems with external solutions. Buying new books or courses, joining expensive classes, downloading multiple apps, finding different teachers, changing learning methods constantly. While good materials and teachers can help, they can't create motivation for you. Motivation must come from within, from your own personal desires, dreams, and goals. The grammar trap. Some learners think, I just need to understand grammar better. Then I'll be motivated to practice. But this approach is backwards. You don't need perfect understanding to feel motivated. You need motivation to persist through the learning process. Examples of misplaced focus. External focus. I need a better textbook to learn English. Internal focus. I need to remember why English matters to me. External focus. This app isn't working for me. Internal focus. How can I connect my English practice to my personal goals? External focus. I need a more entertaining teacher. Internal focus. How can I make English learning personally meaningful? The personal connection. Strong internal motivation comes from connecting English to your personal life, dreams, and values. When English learning feels personally meaningful, you don't need external pressure to practice. You want to practice. Questions for personal connection. How will English change your daily life? What dreams become possible with better English? How will you feel about yourself when you're fluent? What opportunities will English create for you? Who will you become as an English speaker? Real-life examples of personal connection. Maria's story. Maria wanted to learn English to communicate with her daughter's English-speaking boyfriend. This personal, emotional connection gave her more motivation than any textbook could. Ahmed's journey. Ahmed dreamed of starting a YouTube channel about his hobby. Knowing he needed English to reach a global audience motivated him to practice daily. Lynn's goal. Lynn wanted to feel confident in international business meetings. This career aspiration connected to her self-image and provided lasting motivation. The ripple effect. When you have strong internal motivation, everything else becomes easier. You're more patient with difficult grammar. You enjoy challenging listening exercises. You're brave enough to practice speaking. You persist through temporary plateaus. You celebrate small improvements. Key learning points for motivation versus materials. The missing piece refers to something essential that's absent. Push you forward means to give you energy and drive. Look forward to means to anticipate with pleasure. Feel heavy means something feels difficult or burdensome. Internal motivation is more powerful than external materials. Understanding the difference between external and internal motivation will help you build lasting drive for English learning. External motivation, the wind. External motivation comes from outside sources, other people or situations that pressure you to learn English. External motivation is like the wind that pushes you when you walk. Common sources of external motivation: a teacher requiring you to pass an exam, a boss demanding better English for your job, parents pressuring you to study, friends or classmates creating competition, school or university requirements, immigration or visa necessities. Why external motivation doesn't last? Well, external motivation can be initially strong due to pressure. It usually doesn't last very long. Here's why. Once the external pressure is removed, after an exam, when your boss stops asking, when the requirement is fulfilled, the reason goes away. It disappears. And when the reason disappears, your energy to study disappears too. Examples of fading external motivation. The exam student studies intensively for IELTS, passes the test, then completely stops practicing English because the external pressure is gone. The employee practices English because the boss requires it, but stops when changing to a job where English isn't demanded. The university student studies English to meet graduation requirements, then loses all interest after graduating. Teaching note: pressure in this context means force or demand from outside sources. Fulfill a requirement means to complete something that's necessary or demanded. Internal motivation, the fire. Internal motivation originates from your heart, your dreams, your own goals. Internal motivation is like a fire inside your chest. The fire keeps burning all the time. It gives you heat and light. That fire is your why. Characteristics of internal motivation: comes from your personal desires and dreams, connects with your values and identity, lasts longer and doesn't disappear quickly, connects with your life in meaningful ways, empowers continuous learning even if there is no exam, no teacher, or no boss. Examples of strong internal motivation. Travel dreams. I want to explore the world and connect with people from different cultures. Personal growth. I want to feel proud of myself for learning a new language. Career passion. I want to share my expertise with a global audience. Family connection. I want to communicate better with my English-speaking relatives. Cultural interest. I want to enjoy English movies, books, and music without translation. Teaching note: originate from means to come from or start from a particular source. Your heart in this context means your emotions and deep feelings, not the physical organ. External versus internal motivation vocabulary. External motivation is like the wind, temporary pushing force. Internal motivation is like a fire inside your chest. The fire keeps burning all the time. Connects with your life means relates to your personal experiences. Originates from your heart, dreams, and goals. Why internal motivation is superior? Sustainability. Internal motivation sustains itself because it's connected to who you are and what you want, not what others demand. Resiliency. When you face difficulties, internal motivation helps you persist because you're working toward your own dreams, not someone else's requirements. Enjoyment. Learning driven by internal motivation feels more enjoyable because you're pursuing something you personally value. Authenticity. Internal motivation aligns with your authentic self, making the learning process feel natural rather than forced. Converting external to internal motivation. If you currently have external motivation, you can develop internal motivation by asking deeper questions. External. I need English for my job. Internal questions. How will better English help me become the professional I want to be? What career opportunities will open up? How will I feel about myself as a confident English speaker? External. I need to pass this English exam. Internal questions. What will passing this exam make possible in my life? What dreams can I pursue with this qualification? How will success change my self-image? External. My parents want me to learn English. Internal questions. What do I personally want to achieve with English? How could English enrich my own life? What excites me about becoming bilingual? Identifying your motivation type. Signs of external motivation. You study only when reminded or required. Progress stops when external pressure decreases. Learning feels like an obligation or chore. You focus mainly on meeting minimum requirements. Motivation disappears during breaks or holidays. Signs of internal motivation. You find yourself naturally seeking English content. You continue learning even without external pressure. English practice feels like personal development. You set your own goals beyond minimum requirements. You maintain interest during breaks from formal study. Building internal motivation. Connect to personal values. Identify how English aligns with what you value most: growth, connection, achievement, creativity, freedom. Visualize specific ways English will improve your daily life, relationships, and opportunities. Create emotional connections. Link English learning to experiences that make you feel excited, proud, or fulfilled. Set personal goals. Establish English goals that matter to you personally, not just what others expect. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Key learning points for external versus internal motivation. External motivation is like wind, temporary pushing force from outside. Internal motivation is like a fire inside your chest, a lasting inner drive. Originates from means comes from or starts from a source. Connects with your life means relates to your personal experiences. Internal motivation is more sustainable and resilient than external pressure. Now, let's discover your specific emotional reason for learning English, your personal why that will fuel long-term motivation. What is your why? Your why is your personal reason for learning English. It should be something close to your heart, something that touches your life rather than a general idea like English is useful. The best why is one that feels strong to you, it makes you smile, and gives you energy when you think about it. Weak versus strong why examples. Weak why. Too general. English is important for my future. English is useful in today's world. Everyone should know English. English will help me get a better job. Strong why, specific and emotional. I want to confidently order my favorite food when I travel to New York. I want to feel proud when my children hear me speaking English fluently. I want to understand my favorite English songs without looking up lyrics. I want to participate confidently in international business meetings. Teaching note. Close to your heart means emotionally important to you. Touches your life means directly affects or impacts your personal experience. Your why vocabulary. Your personal reason. Your individual motivation. Something close to your heart. Emotionally important to you. Something that touches your life. Directly affects your experience. Feels strong to you. Creates powerful emotional response. Makes you smile and gives you energy when you think about it. Categories of strong why. Travel and cultural connection. Confidently exploring new countries. Making genuine friendships with English speakers. Understanding local culture during travels. Feeling independent when visiting English-speaking places. Sharing your own culture with international friends. Career and professional growth. Leading international meetings with confidence. Expanding your professional network globally. Accessing better job opportunities. Sharing your expertise with a worldwide audience. Feeling respected for your communication skills. Personal development and pride. Proving to yourself that you can master a challenging skill. Setting a positive example for your children. Joining the global community of English speakers. Expanding your mind through English literature and media. Feeling accomplished and intellectually stimulated. Family and relationships. Communicating with English-speaking family members. Helping your children with English homework. Connecting with your partner's family or friends. Building bridges between different cultures. Creating opportunities for your family's future. Passion and entertainment. Enjoying English movies without subtitles. Understanding English humor and jokes. Reading English books in their original language. Following English-speaking creators and influencers. Participating in English-speaking hobby communities. Finding your emotional connection. To identify your strongest why, ask yourself these questions. 1. Future self visualization. When I imagine myself speaking English fluently, what am I doing? Where am I? Who am I with? How do I feel? 2. Emotional triggers. What English-related experience would make me feel most proud of myself? 3. Pain points. What current situation involving English makes me feel frustrated or limited? 4. Dream scenarios. If I could do anything with perfect English skills, what would I choose? 5. Legacy questions. How do I want my English fluency to impact my life story? Making your why specific and vivid. Transform general into specific. General, I want to travel. Specific, I want to confidently ask for directions in London, order fish and chips like a local, and have a genuine conversation with someone in a pub. General, I want career success. Specific, I want to present my ideas clearly in international video calls and feel respected for my expertise, not limited by language barriers. General, I want to understand English media. Specific, I want to laugh at English comedy shows, understand the emotional depth of English song lyrics, and discuss my favorite English books with other readers. The smile test. Your true why should pass the smile test. When you think about it, you should naturally smile and feel energy in your body. If thinking about your reason makes you feel excited, that's a good sign you've found a strong why. Creating your why statement. Write your personal why statement using this format. I'm learning English because I want to specific action so that I can emotional outcome. Examples. I'm learning English because I want to confidently order food in English-speaking countries so that I can feel independent and adventurous when traveling. I'm learning English because I want to help my children with their homework so that I can feel proud of being a supportive parent. I'm learning English because I want to understand English movies without subtitles so that I can fully appreciate the art and emotion of filmmaking. Strengthening your why over time. Your why may evolve as you grow and learn. That's completely normal. Regularly reconnect with your motivation. Reflecting on how your English has already improved your life. Imagining new possibilities that better English could create. Adjusting your goals as your life circumstances change. Adding new layers of meaning to your original why. Key learning points for finding your why. Close to your heart means emotionally important to you. Touches your life means directly affects your personal experience. Feels strong to you creates a powerful emotional response. Your why should be specific, not general. A good why makes you smile and gives you energy when you think about it. Now, let's create a simple, powerful practice that will strengthen your motivation every single day. The 5-minute daily practice. This ritual takes only 5 minutes, but can transform your entire English learning journey. It consists of 3 simple steps that you can do every morning or at any time when your motivation feels low. Step 1. Connect with your reason. 2 minutes. Every morning, ask yourself, why am I learning English? And articulate the answer aloud or in writing. Examples of daily affirmations. I'm learning English because I want to travel with confidence. I'm learning English because I want to feel proud of myself. I'm learning English because I want to connect with people from around the world. I'm learning English because I want to expand my career opportunities. Why this works. Saying your why out loud or writing it down strengthens the why in your mind. It's like watering a plant. Regular attention helps your motivation grow stronger. Teaching note: articulate means to express clearly in words. Affirmations are positive statements you say to yourself to reinforce beliefs or goals. Step 2. Imagine your future. 1 minute. Close your eyes for 1 minute and vividly imagine your future self successfully using English. This could involve ordering food confidently in a foreign country, laughing with international friends, giving a presentation in English, reading an English book with complete understanding, having a deep conversation in English, creating vivid mental pictures. Make the picture bright in your mind. Hear your voice, feel your body relaxed and confident. This imagination makes your why real in your brain. Sensory details to include. Visual. What do you see around you? What are you wearing? What expressions do people have? Auditory. What does your confident English voice sound like? What responses do you hear? Kinesthetic. How does confidence feel in your body? What emotions are you experiencing? Environmental. Where are you? What's the atmosphere like? Teaching note: vividly means in a clear, detailed way. Kinesthetic refers to feelings related to movement and physical sensations. Daily motivation ritual vocabulary. Articulate the answer aloud. Express clearly by speaking. Strengthens the why in your mind. Makes motivation more powerful. Vividly imagine. Picture clearly and in detail. Make the picture bright in your mind. Create clear mental images. Imagination makes your why real. Step 3. Take one small action. Each day, complete a single, small English-related task. The key is that it should be small enough to do even on busy or unmotivated days. Examples of small daily actions. Listen to one English song. Read one English paragraph. Write 3 sentences about your day. Learn one new English word. Watch a 2-minute English video. Say good morning to yourself in English. Describe your breakfast in English. Look up one English idiom. The power of small steps. Small is strong. While large, infrequent efforts may lead to burnout, if you do 5 minutes every day, you can continue for weeks, months, even years. This consistency builds several things. Habits. Regular practice becomes automatic. Confidence. Small successes accumulate into strong self-belief. Fluency. Daily exposure and practice compound over time. Teaching note: compound over time means small effects add up to create large results. Accumulate means to gather or collect gradually. Why this ritual works. Psychological benefits. Memory reinforcement. Daily repetition strengthens your motivational memories. Identity building. Regular practice helps you see yourself as an English learner. Momentum creation. Small daily actions build forward energy. Confidence building. Consistent success, even in tiny ways, increases self-belief. Neurological benefits. Pathway strengthening. Daily English exposure builds stronger brain connections. Habit formation. Regular practice creates automatic learning behaviors. Positive association. Connecting English with positive emotions makes it more enjoyable. Adapting the ritual to your life. Morning person version. 7 a.m. State your why while drinking coffee. 7:02 a.m. Visualize success while getting ready. 7:03 a.m. Listen to one English song during breakfast. Evening person version. 9 p.m. Write your why in a journal. 9:02 p.m. Visualize success while relaxing. 9:03 p.m. Read one English paragraph before bed. Busy day version. State your why during lunch break. Visualize success while commuting. Practice one English word while waiting. Building the ritual habit. Week 1. Focus on consistency, not perfection. Just do the ritual daily, even if imperfectly. Week 2. Notice how the ritual affects your motivation and energy for English. Week 3. Adjust the ritual to fit your schedule and preferences better. Week 4. The ritual should start feeling natural and automatic. Troubleshooting common problems. I forget to do the ritual. Link it to an existing habit, morning coffee, evening routine. Set a phone reminder for the same time daily. Keep a simple checklist visible. I don't feel motivated even after the ritual. Your why might not be specific or emotional enough. Try different visualization scenarios. Adjust your small actions to be even smaller. I don't have time. Remember, it's only 5 minutes. Do it while doing other activities, commuting, eating. Prioritize it like brushing your teeth, essential daily maintenance. Tracking your progress. Keep a simple record of your daily ritual. Day 1. V. Said my why. V. Visualized success. V. Learned the word adventure. Day 2. Wrote my why. V. Imagined ordering food in English. V. Read one paragraph. Day 3. Stated my why aloud. Visualized confident presentation. Listened to English song. Key learning points for daily motivation ritual. Articulate aloud means to express clearly by speaking. Vividly imagine means to picture clearly and in detail. Small is strong. Tiny, consistent actions are more powerful than large, inconsistent ones. Compound over time. Small effects add up to create large results. Consistency in the ritual builds habits, confidence, and fluency. What an inspiring journey we've taken together through the world of internal motivation. You now understand that your why is more powerful than any textbook, app, or external pressure when it comes to English learning success. Your weekly motivation plan. Week 1. Discover your why. Complete the why discovery questions from today's lesson. Write your personal why statement. Test it with the SMILE test. Does thinking about it energize you? Week 2. Start the daily ritual. Begin the 5-minute daily practice. Connect, imagine, act. Focus on consistency rather than perfection. Notice how daily motivation affects your English learning energy. Week 3. Deepen your practice. Make your visualization more vivid and detailed. Experiment with different small daily actions. Adjust the ritual timing to fit your schedule. Week 4. Build momentum. The ritual should feel more natural and automatic. Notice improvements in your motivation and English skills. Celebrate your consistency and progress. The 4 keys to lasting English motivation. 1. Internal over external. Build motivation from your personal dreams and goals, not from external pressure. 2. Specific over general. Your why should be emotionally specific, not vaguely general. 3. Daily over sporadic. Regular small actions are more powerful than irregular large efforts. 4. Connection over perfection. Focus on connecting English to your life rather than achieving perfect performance. Signs your motivation is working. Within 2 to 4 weeks of consistent practice, you should notice looking forward to English practice rather than avoiding it, finding natural opportunities to use English, feeling excited about your progress rather than frustrated by mistakes, continuing English activities even when not required, seeing yourself as an English learner rather than someone who should learn English, your motivation mantra. My why is my fire. Every day I connect with my reason, imagine my success, and take one small step forward. I am not just learning English, I am becoming the person I want to be. This week's challenge. Complete the daily motivation ritual for 7 consecutive days and share your experience in the comments. Tell me, what's your personal why for learning English? How did the daily ritual affect your motivation? And what small daily action did you choose? Thank you for joining me on this motivational journey. If this lesson helped you discover your inner drive for English learning, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs to rediscover their motivation. Remember, external pressure fades, but internal fire burns forever. When you know your why, you'll find your way to English fluency. Until next time, keep your motivation strong, keep taking small daily actions, and keep improving your English with us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Artificial Fluency. I want you to imagine 2 people learning English. Both start at the same level, use the same materials, and study for the same amount of time. But after 6 months, one person speaks confidently, while the other still struggles with basic conversations. What made the difference? It wasn't intelligence, talent, or even more practice time. The difference was in their thinking patterns, how they approached mistakes, challenges, and daily practice. Today, we're going to explore the powerful connection between positive thinking and English language mastery. You'll discover why your mindset matters more than you might think. Learn practical techniques for building optimism, and understand how positive thinking can accelerate your English learning journey. This isn't about pretending problems don't exist or always smiling. True positive thinking is a skill that helps you find solutions, learn from setbacks, and build confidence in English communication. So let's begin this transformative journey together.
Today's inspiring lesson is organized into 5 progressive levels, each building your English skills while developing positive thinking. First, we'll explore basic positive thinking, simple ways to choose better thoughts and focus on solutions rather than problems. Second, we'll develop optimism in action, how to combine positive thinking with daily habits and practical steps. Third, we'll master resilience and reframing, turning setbacks into learning opportunities and building mental strength. Fourth, we'll understand meaning-making and purpose, finding deeper significance in challenges and connecting them to personal growth. And finally, we'll create your positive English learning plan, practical strategies for applying positive thinking to accelerate your language learning. Each section uses progressively advanced English while teaching life skills that support both language learning and personal development. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us.
Let's start with the foundation of positive thinking. Understanding that you have the power to choose your thoughts and responses. The fundamental choice. At its most basic level, positive thinking means choosing a good thought instead of a bad one. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about recognizing that you have options in how you respond to situations. The key insight is this: your thoughts create your world. While you can't always control what happens to you, you can influence how you think about and respond to events. Teaching note: at its most basic level means at the simplest or most fundamental point. Ignoring reality means pretending that real problems don't exist, which isn't what healthy, positive thinking does. Simple examples of thought choice. Situation: spilling coffee. Negative thought: ugh, this day is ruined. I'm so clumsy. Everything goes wrong for me. Positive thought: well, at least now I have a reason to wear my favorite hoodie. Situation: making a mistake on a test. Negative thought: oh no, I'm terrible at English. I'll never improve. Positive thought: I got many answers right and I'll learn from this mistake. Situation: missing the bus. Negative thought: I'm always late. This always happens to me. Positive thought: I have extra time to listen to an English podcast while walking. Teaching note: clumsy means awkward in movement or handling things, often dropping or breaking things accidentally. Notice how positive thoughts look for opportunities or learning rather than just complaining. Basic positive thinking vocabulary: choosing a good thought instead of a bad one. Your thoughts create your world. At its most basic level, at the simplest or most fundamental point. Ignoring reality means pretending problems don't exist. Clumsy means awkward, often dropping things. Focus shift from problems to solutions. Positive thinking involves training your mind to focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. This doesn't mean problems disappear, but your mental energy goes toward finding ways forward instead of staying stuck in frustration. Problem-focused thinking. Why is English grammar so difficult? I never understand native speakers. I'm too old to learn languages. I don't have enough time to practice. Solution-focused thinking. Which grammar rules should I practice first today? What can I do to improve my listening skills? How can I use my life experience to help me learn? When can I find 10 minutes for English practice? The feeling change. Here's what's important to understand. The problem doesn't disappear, but your feeling changes because your thought changes. When you spill coffee, the coffee is still spilled, but instead of feeling frustrated and defeated, you might feel amused or even grateful for a small break in your routine. The external situation is the same, but your internal experience is completely different. Internal versus external control. This relates to what psychologists call locus of control. External locus: everything bad happens to me. I can't control anything. Internal locus: I can't control what happens, but I can control my response. English learning applications. External locus: English is too hard. Native speakers talk too fast. I'll never be fluent. Internal locus: English is challenging, but I can improve with consistent practice. I can ask people to speak more slowly. Fluency takes time, and I'm making progress. What positive thinking is not. It's crucial to understand what healthy positive thinking is not. Not blind denial. Positive thinking is not just about smiling and pretending everything is fine. If you have a serious English pronunciation problem, positive thinking doesn't mean pretending you don't need to work on it. Not toxic positivity. This is when people pressure themselves or others to be positive all the time, ignoring legitimate concerns or emotions. Not magic thinking. Positive thinking doesn't mean believing that good thoughts alone will solve all problems without any effort or action. Teaching note: locus of control refers to how much you believe you can control events in your life. Toxic positivity is the harmful practice of insisting on positive thinking even when it's inappropriate or unhelpful. What positive thinking is? Healthy positive thinking is the art of transmuting adversity into meaning. This means finding constructive ways to understand and respond to difficulties.
Key characteristics of healthy, positive thinking. Acknowledges real problems while focusing on possible solutions. Accepts difficult emotions while choosing constructive responses. Recognizes challenges while maintaining hope for improvement. Learns from mistakes while building confidence for future attempts. Building basic positive thinking skills. Daily thought monitoring. Throughout the day, notice your automatic thoughts about English learning. When you make a mistake, what do you tell yourself? When you don't understand something, what's your first reaction? When you feel frustrated, what thoughts go through your mind? The reframe exercise. For each negative thought, create a more balanced, solution-focused alternative. Negative: I'm terrible at pronunciation. Reframe: my pronunciation is improving with practice. Negative: I'll never understand English movies. Reframe: I understand more English movies now than 6 months ago. The 3 good things practice. Every evening, write down 3 positive things that happened in your English learning. I successfully ordered food in English today. I understood a joke in an English video. I helped someone else with an English question. The morning positive phrase. Start each day by saying one encouraging phrase about your English journey. I am improving my English every day. Mistakes help me learn and grow. I am becoming a confident English speaker. Every conversation makes me stronger. Practical English applications. Instead of, I made so many grammar mistakes in that conversation. Try, I had a real conversation in English and learned several grammar points to practice. Instead of, native speakers talk too fast for me. Try, I'm training my ear to understand different speaking speeds. Instead of, I forgot all the vocabulary I studied. Try, some words need more practice, and that's normal in language learning. The gradual shift. Remember, changing thought patterns takes time. You don't need to become perfectly positive overnight. Start by noticing negative thought patterns, gently questioning whether these thoughts are helpful, experimenting with alternative perspectives, and celebrating small improvements in your thinking. Key learning points for basic positive thinking. Your thoughts create your world. How you think affects your experience. Training your mind to focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. The problem doesn't disappear, but your feeling changes through different thinking. Positive thinking is not blind denial or pretending problems don't exist. Locus of control refers to how much you believe you can influence your life.
Now let's move beyond simple thought choice to understand how optimism becomes powerful when combined with consistent action and daily habits. Optimism plus action equals results. Here's a crucial insight. Optimism should always walk hand in hand with action. Positive thinking gives you energy, but action turns that energy into results. Without action, positive thoughts can become empty promises or just fantasy. You might think, I'm going to become fluent in English every day. But without concrete steps, optimism alone won't create change. Examples of optimism without action? Feeling excited about English learning, but never actually studying. Believing you'll improve while avoiding challenging conversations. Planning to practice daily, but never creating a specific schedule. Dreaming about fluency without addressing current weaknesses. Examples of optimism with action? I believe I can improve my speaking, so I'll practice 10 minutes daily. I'm confident I can understand movies better, so I'll watch with English subtitles. I know I can expand my vocabulary, so I'll learn 5 new words each week. I trust I can overcome my fear of speaking, so I'll join an English conversation group. Teaching note, to walk hand in hand is an idiom meaning to go together or work together closely. Empty promises are commitments that you don't actually fulfill. Just fantasy are unrealistic dreams without action. Optimism as a trainable skill. Optimism is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. This is important because many people think optimism is something you either have or don't have. But research shows optimism can be developed through practice.
Optimism is not a gift that some people have and others don't. It's a skill. It's a choice. And with practice, it becomes a habit. This means you can deliberately build your optimistic thinking, just like you build your English skills, through consistent, intentional practice. Teaching note, trainable means able to be developed through practice. When we say optimism is like a muscle, we mean it gets stronger with regular exercise. Optimism and action vocabulary. Optimism should walk hand in hand with action. Empty promises, commitments you don't fulfill, just fantasy, unrealistic dreams without action. Optimism is like a muscle. It gets stronger with practice. Trainable skill, ability that can be developed through practice.
Daily habits for building optimism. The 3 good things evening practice. Every evening, write down 3 good things that happened during your day. This trains your brain to notice positive experiences instead of only remembering problems or frustrations. For English learners, I understood a new expression in a podcast. A native speaker complimented my pronunciation. I successfully explained my opinion in English. The morning positive phrase. Start each day by repeating a positive phrase related to your English learning goals. This sets an optimistic tone and reminds you of your growth mindset. Examples. Today I will learn something new in English. I am becoming more confident in English every day. Mistakes are stepping stones to fluency. Every English conversation makes me stronger. The solution-finding habit. When you encounter English learning challenges, train yourself to automatically ask solution-focused questions. What can I learn from this mistake? How can I practice this skill more effectively? Who might be able to help me with this problem? What small step can I take right now to improve? The progress tracking practice. Weekly, write down specific evidence of your English improvement. I used 5 new vocabulary words in conversation this week. I watched a 20-minute English video without subtitles. I spoke English for 10 minutes without translating in my head. Building optimistic habits in English learning. Week 1. Awareness building. Notice your automatic thoughts about English challenges. Practice the 3 good things evening reflection. Start with 1 morning positive phrase. Week 2. Active reframing. When negative thoughts arise, consciously look for alternative perspectives. Add solution-focused questions to your daily routine. Continue evening gratitude and morning affirmations. Week 3. Action integration. Connect each optimistic thought to a specific action. I believe I can improve. Practice 15 minutes today. I'm confident I'll understand better. Listen to English news. I know I can speak more fluently. Record myself speaking. Week 4. Habit reinforcement. Optimistic thinking and action should start feeling more automatic. Adjust practices based on what works best for your schedule. Notice improvements in both mindset and English skills. The energy action cycle. Understanding this cycle helps explain why optimism with action is so powerful. Optimistic thinking generates energy and motivation. Energy enables you to take action toward your goals. Action creates real progress and positive results. Results reinforce optimistic thinking and generate more energy. The cycle repeats, building momentum over time. Breaking negative cycles. Sometimes you might get stuck in negative cycles. Pessimistic thinking drains energy and motivation. Low energy leads to avoiding action or practice. Lack of action results in no progress. No progress reinforces pessimistic thinking. The cycle repeats, creating stagnation. How to break out? Start with small actions even when you don't feel optimistic. Look for tiny evidence of progress to rebuild positive thinking. Use external support, friends, teachers, learning groups. Focus on process goals like, I will practice 10 minutes, rather than, I will become fluent. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Optimism in challenging moments. When you don't understand native speakers. Pessimistic responses, I'll never understand fast English. Optimistic action, I'll practice with slightly faster audio daily and gradually build my listening speed. When you make grammar mistakes. Pessimistic response, I'm terrible at English grammar. Optimistic action, I'll focus on mastering one grammar point at a time and celebrate each improvement. When you feel too shy to have conversations. Pessimistic responses, I'm not confident enough to have conversations. Optimistic action, I'll start with short, low-pressure interactions and gradually build my speaking confidence. The compound effect of daily optimism. Small daily optimistic habits compound over time. Day 1, notice one good thing about your English practice. Week 1, automatically look for learning opportunities in mistakes. Month 1, approach English challenges with curiosity instead of fear. Month 3, feel genuinely excited about English learning opportunities. Month 6, others notice your positive, confident approach to English. Key learning points for optimism in action. Walk hand in hand means to go together or work closely together. Empty promises are commitments you don't actually fulfill. A trainable skill means an ability that can be developed through practice. Optimism is like a muscle that gets stronger with regular exercise. The energy action cycle. Optimism to energy to action to results to more optimism.
Now we move to a deeper level of positive thinking, building resilience and learning to reframe setbacks as opportunities for growth. Beyond surface-level positivity, at this level, we're not just about daily habits anymore. We're talking about how to handle setbacks, failures, and how positive thinking helps us rise again when life knocks us down. This involves developing resilience, the ability to not just survive difficult experiences, but to grow stronger through them. Teaching note: surface level means shallow or superficial, dealing only with the obvious parts rather than deeper issues. Resilience is the ability to recover quickly from difficulties and become stronger. Rewriting your story. Positive thinking at this level rewrites the narrative. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances, you become the author of your own story of growth and learning. Failure is no longer final. It becomes formative. A setback is no longer a dead end. It's a detour, even a doorway. Language learning examples. Old narrative. I failed my English exam. I'm not good at languages. I should give up. New narrative. This exam showed me which areas need more work. Now I have a clear plan for improvement. Old narrative. I couldn't understand that English movie at all. My listening skills are terrible. New narrative. This movie was above my current level, but I caught some words and phrases. I'll try something slightly easier and work my way up. Old narrative. I made so many mistakes in that English conversation. It was embarrassing. New narrative. I had a real conversation in English. Each mistake teaches me something, and I'm building confidence through practice. Teaching note. Formative means helping to shape or develop something. A detour is an alternative route when the main road is blocked. It's not permanent. Narrative means story or account. Resilience vocabulary. Not just about daily habits anymore. Setbacks, failures, and rising again. Rewrites the narrative, changes your story. Failure is no longer final, it becomes formative. A setback is not a dead end, it's a detour or doorway. The art of reframing. Reframing means looking at the same situation from a different, more constructive perspective. Resilient individuals don't avoid pain. They confront it, but they frame it differently. What one person sees as punishment, another sees as preparation. English learning reframes. Difficult grammar. Punishment view. English grammar is torturing me. Preparation view. Mastering this grammar will make me a clearer communicator. Slow progress. Punishment view. I'm wasting my time. I'm learning too slowly. Preparation view. Steady progress builds a strong foundation for fluency. Speaking anxiety. Punishment view. I'm cursed with shyness that prevents me from speaking English. Preparation view. Each conversation, even scary ones, is building my confidence. Fear of mistakes. Punishment view. Making mistakes proves I'm bad at English. Preparation view. Mistakes are valuable feedback showing me what to practice next. The single shift that changes everything. This single shift in interpretation changes the entire trajectory of their life. When you start seeing challenges as preparation rather than punishment, everything changes. You approach difficulties with curiosity instead of dread. You look for lessons instead of looking for someone to blame. You ask, what can I learn? Instead of, why me? You focus on growth instead of perfection. Teaching note. Trajectory means the path or direction something follows over time. Interpretation means how you understand or explain something.
Fall 7 times, stand up 8. The Japanese proverb, fall 7 times, stand up 8, exemplifies resilience in action. It's not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. In English learning, you will have conversations that don't go well. Stand up and try again. You will encounter grammar that confuses you. Stand up and practice more. You will face listening challenges that frustrate you. Stand up
and keep training your ear. You will make pronunciation mistakes that embarrass you. Stand up and keep speaking. Building bridges, not walls. Negative thinking builds walls, but positive thinking builds bridges over the flood. Walls, negative thinking. I can't understand native speakers. Stops trying to improve listening. I'm too old to learn languages. Avoids English opportunities. I don't have talent for languages. Gives up when things get difficult. English grammar is too complicated. Refuses to study grammar. Bridges. Positive thinking. Native speakers are challenging, but I can train my ear gradually. My life experience gives me wisdom that helps me learn strategically. I can develop language skills through consistent practice. Grammar becomes clearer when I focus on one rule at a time. Confronting pain versus avoiding it. Resilient English learners don't avoid pain, they confront it, but they frame it differently. Avoiding pain, skipping challenging English content to stay comfortable. Avoiding conversations because they might be difficult. Giving up when grammar seems too hard. Switching to easier materials instead of pushing through difficulty. Confronting pain constructively. Choosing slightly challenging content for growth. Seeking conversations that stretch your abilities. Working through difficult grammar with patience and help. Persisting through temporary confusion toward understanding.
The growth mindset in action. Resilience is closely connected to having a growth mindset, believing that abilities can be developed through effort and learning. Fixed mindset responses. I'm just not good at English pronunciation. Some people have a language gene, and I don't. I've never been good at memorizing vocabulary. Growth mindset responses. I haven't mastered English pronunciation yet. I can develop stronger language skills with the right practice. I'm learning better strategies for remembering vocabulary. Building your English resilience. Weekly resilience practice. Identify one English challenge you faced this week. Reframe it from punishment to preparation. Find the lesson or growth opportunity. Take one small action based on this lesson. Celebrate your resilience in facing the challenge. Monthly resilience review. What English setbacks have you experienced? How did you respond to these setbacks? What did you learn from difficult experiences? How are you stronger now than you were before? Key learning points for resilience. Surface level means shallow, dealing only with obvious parts. Resilience is the ability to recover and grow stronger from difficulties. Narrative means story. You can rewrite your story of challenges. Trajectory means the path something follows over time. Resilient people don't avoid pain, but frame it differently as preparation.
Now we reach the deepest level of positive thinking, finding meaning and purpose even in the most challenging experiences. Transmuting adversity into meaning. True positive thinking at its highest level is the art of transmuting adversity into meaning. This means taking difficult experiences and finding ways they contribute to your growth, wisdom, and purpose. The key question becomes, what significance can I assign to this difficulty?
How might this struggle shape me into someone wiser, steadier, more resilient? Teaching note. Transmuting means transforming or changing something from one form into another. Adversity means difficult or challenging circumstances. Significance means importance or meaning. English learning applications. Instead of just asking, "Why is English so hard for me?" you might ask, "How is learning English teaching me patience and persistence? What character qualities am I developing through this challenge? How might my English learning journey help others who face similar struggles? What wisdom am I gaining that I couldn't learn any other way?" Learning to surf the waves. The idiom, "you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf," perfectly illustrates this level of thinking. Life's turbulence is inevitable, but the choice lies in whether we thrash helplessly or discover balance within the chaos. For English learners, this means you can't eliminate all English learning difficulties, but you can learn to navigate them skillfully. You can't control how fast you progress, but you can control your response to the pace. You can't prevent all mistakes, but you can learn to see them as valuable information. You can't avoid all frustration, but you can develop equanimity in facing challenges. Teaching note. Turbulence means rough or unsteady movement, originally used for rough air that shakes airplanes. Thrash helplessly means to struggle wildly without purpose. Equanimity means mental calmness and composure. Meaning-making vocabulary. Transmuting adversity into meaning. Transforming difficulties into purpose. What significance can I assign to this difficulty? You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. Turbulence is inevitable. Rough periods will happen. Thrash helplessly versus discover balance within the chaos. Suffering with purpose versus suffering without meaning. Drawing from Viktor Frankl's work, the lesson is that suffering stripped of meaning is unbearable, but suffering with a why becomes endurable. Meaningless English learning suffering. I have to study English because my boss requires it. Everyone says English is important. Following others' values without personal connection. I'm forcing myself through this boring grammar book. No connection to larger purpose. Meaningful English learning challenges. Learning English allows me to connect with my international colleagues and understand their perspectives. English opens doors to knowledge and culture that enriches my life. By mastering English, I'm proving to myself that I can overcome any challenge. My English journey is teaching me patience and persistence that helps in all areas of life. The tapestry metaphor. Life is described as a tapestry where joy, sorrow, failure, and triumph, even the darker threads, when woven together with intention, create a pattern far richer than perfection alone could offer. Your English learning tapestry. Bright threads, moments of understanding, successful conversations, breakthrough realizations. Dark threads, frustrating mistakes, difficult grammar, embarrassing miscommunications. The pattern, all experiences together create your unique story of growth and learning. The key is weaving together with intention, consciously finding how even difficult experiences contribute to your overall development. Teaching note, a tapestry is a thick textile with designs woven into it. Woven together with intention means deliberately combined to create a meaningful pattern.
Despair and hope as partners. At this philosophical level, positive thinking recognizes that despair and hope are not opposites, but partners in shaping depth of character. This doesn't mean seeking out despair, but understanding that difficult emotions, when approached constructively, can deepen your wisdom and compassion. In English learning, moments of feeling overwhelmed can teach you the value of breaking large goals into smaller steps. Periods of slow progress can develop patience and trust in gradual improvement. Times of confusion can strengthen your problem-solving abilities. Experiences of embarrassment can build humility and empathy for other learners. Finding your English learning why. Surface level why, I want to speak English. Deeper why, I want to communicate with people from different cultures. Philosophical why, learning English is teaching me that I can transform confusion into understanding, fear into courage, and limitation into possibility. Questions for discovering meaning. How has your English learning journey changed you as a person? What character qualities have you developed through language learning challenges? How might your struggles with English help you empathize with others facing difficulties? What wisdom have you gained that you could share with future English learners? In what ways has English learning been a path of personal growth beyond just language skills? Building an enduring legacy. The ultimate challenge is weaving something enduring, a legacy, a narrative of resilience, a life defined by purpose rather than circumstance. Your English learning legacy. The example you set for others about perseverance and growth, the wisdom you gain about learning that applies to other areas of life, the connections you make with people from different cultures, the confidence you build in your ability to master new challenges, the story you create of transformation through dedicated effort. Philosophical applications to daily practice. Daily meaning-making questions. How did today's English practice contribute to my personal growth? What character quality am I strengthening through this challenge? How does my persistence in English learning reflect my deeper values? What would I tell someone facing similar English learning struggles? Weekly purpose reflection. How has English learning shaped me this week? What deeper lessons am I learning beyond language skills? How am I becoming the person I want to be through this journey? What meaning do I find in both my successes and struggles?
The paradox is that the very struggles we want to avoid often provide the most significant opportunities for development. The wound is the place where light enters. Your English learning challenges may be exactly what develops your resilience, patience, and wisdom. Key learning points for meaning making. Transmuting means transforming something from one form to another. Adversity refers to difficult or challenging circumstances. Turbulence is inevitable. Rough periods will happen in any learning journey. Tapestry metaphor. All experiences, good and difficult, create a meaningful pattern. Despair and hope are partners in developing depth of character. Now, let's integrate everything we've learned into a practical plan for applying positive thinking to accelerate your English learning journey. The 4 levels integration. Your positive English learning plan incorporates all 4 levels we've discussed. Level 1, daily thought choice. Notice negative automatic thoughts about your English abilities. Practice choosing solution-focused alternatives. Use reframing techniques for common English learning challenges. Level 2,
Optimistic action. Combine positive thinking with specific daily English practices. Build habits that reinforce both optimism and language skills. Create energy action cycles that maintain momentum. Level 3, resilient growth. Reframe setbacks as learning opportunities. Develop persistence through challenging periods. Build bridges over obstacles instead of walls against them. Level 4, meaningful purpose. Connect your English learning to deeper personal values. Find significance in both struggles and successes. View your journey as character development, not just skill acquisition.
Your weekly positive English routine. Monday, foundation setting. Morning, state your positive English learning intention for the week. Practice, choose one English skill to focus on with optimistic action. Evening, write down 3 good things from your English exposure today. Tuesday, challenge navigation. Morning, identify one English challenge you'll approach with curiosity today. Practice, deliberately engage with slightly difficult English content. Evening, reframe any frustrations as preparation for growth. Wednesday, connection building. Morning, remind yourself why English matters to your deeper values. Practice, use English to connect with others. Conversation, online comments, etc. Evening, reflect on how English practice contributed to your personal development. Thursday, resilience training. Morning, prepare mentally for potential English learning setbacks. Practice, try something in English that might be difficult or uncomfortable. Evening, celebrate your courage in facing challenges. Friday, integration reflection. Morning, appreciate how far you've come in your English journey. Practice, use English in a way that brings you joy or satisfaction. Evening, consider what wisdom you've gained through English learning. Weekend, purposeful practice. Engage with English content that aligns with your interests and values. Notice how positive thinking affects your enjoyment and retention. Plan next week's English learning with optimistic intention. Monthly positive progress review. Mindset assessment. How has your thinking about English challenges evolved? Which negative thought patterns have you successfully changed? What positive habits have become more automatic? How do you now respond differently to English learning setbacks? Progress celebration. What English improvements can you measure? Which moments of English success brought you the most joy? How has your confidence in English communication grown? What evidence shows your optimistic approach is working? Purpose connection. How has English learning contributed to your personal growth? What character qualities have you developed through language challenges? In what ways does your English journey reflect your deeper values? How are you becoming the person you want to be through this process? Emergency Positive Thinking Toolkit. When you feel like quitting English, remember your deeper why for learning English. Review evidence of your progress over the past months. Connect with other English learners for mutual encouragement. Take one small positive English action to rebuild momentum. Reframe the difficulty as temporary preparation for breakthrough. When you're overwhelmed by English complexity, break your current challenge into smaller, manageable pieces. Focus on one small improvement rather than perfect mastery. Ask, what would I tell a friend facing this same challenge? Remember, confusion is a temporary state before understanding. Practice self-compassion. Learning languages is genuinely difficult. When you're embarrassed by English mistakes, remind yourself that mistakes are proof you're practicing courageously. Ask, what valuable lesson is this mistake teaching me? Consider how native speakers make mistakes in their own language too. Focus on communication success rather than perfect accuracy. Use humor when appropriate to lighten the emotional weight. The ultimate secret. As we conclude, remember this fundamental truth. The ultimate secret of positive thinking is not simply to believe in better days, but to build them thread by thread, thought by thought. Your English fluency isn't just about language skills. It's about developing the mindset, resilience, and character that creates success in all areas of life. Every optimistic thought you choose, every setback you reframe, every challenge you approach with curiosity rather than fear is building not just your English abilities, but your capacity for growth, connection, and meaningful living. Key learning points for your positive English plan. Integration of all 4 levels: daily choice, optimistic action, resilient growth, meaningful purpose. Weekly routine that balances challenge with celebration. Monthly review that tracks both skill improvement and mindset development. Emergency toolkit for difficult moments in your learning journey. Build better days thread by thread, thought by thought, through consistent, positive action.
What an inspiring and comprehensive journey we've taken through the art of positive thinking and English language mastery. You now understand that your mindset isn't just helpful for English learning, it's absolutely essential for breakthrough progress and long-term success. Your 4-week Positive Thinking Challenge. Week 1. Foundation. Basic positive choice. Practice choosing solution-focused thoughts about English challenges. Start the 3 good things evening practice for English experiences. Use morning positive phrases to set optimistic intentions. Week 2. Action integration. Optimism in practice. Combine every positive thought with a specific English action. Build daily habits that reinforce both optimism and language skills. Notice the energy-action cycle in your learning. Week 3. Resilience development. Growth through challenges. Practice reframing English setbacks as preparation for growth. Apply the fall 7 times, stand up 8 principle to language learning. Build bridges over obstacles instead of walls against them. Week 4. Purpose connection. Meaning-making mastery. Connect your English learning to deeper personal values and growth. Find significance in both your struggles and successes. View your journey as character development beyond just skill acquisition. The life-changing realizations.
Your thoughts truly do create your world, especially your English learning world. When you choose optimism, seek solutions, reframe challenges, and find meaning in difficulties, you transform not just your language skills, but your entire approach to growth and learning. Small, daily practices compound into extraordinary results. 3 good things each evening, morning positive phrases, solution-focused questions, and meaning-making reflections seem simple, but they rewire your brain for success in English and beyond. Resilience is learnable and transferable. The mental strength you build navigating English challenges strengthens your ability to handle all of life's difficulties with wisdom, persistence, and grace. Your English journey is simultaneously a character development journey. Every grammar struggle, pronunciation challenge, and conversation fear you face with positive thinking is building patience, courage, and self-belief that benefit every area of your life. This week's Transformation Challenge. Choose one principle from today's lesson and commit to practicing it daily for 7 days. Conscious, positive thought choice in response to English challenges. Optimistic action pairing, positive thought plus specific English practice. Resilient reframing of one English setback as preparation for growth. Meaning-making reflection on how English learning develops your character. Share your experience in the comments. Tell me which principle you chose and how it affected both your English practice and your overall outlook. Final inspiration. Remember, every English learner who speaks confidently today once faced the same challenges you're facing now. The difference wasn't talent, luck, or perfect circumstances. The difference was the decision to approach difficulties with optimism, action, resilience, and purpose. You have everything within you right now to not just learn English, but to become the kind of person who thrives through challenges, grows from setbacks, and finds meaning in the journey. Your English mastery and your personal transformation are happening simultaneously. Embrace both with positive thinking and courageous action. Thank you for joining me on this profound exploration of positive thinking and English learning. If this lesson helped you understand how mindset transforms both language skills and life experience, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs both English confidence and life optimism. Until next time, remember, you're not just learning English, but you're building the mindset for lifelong growth and success. Keep thinking positively, keep taking action, and keep improving your English and your life with us.